Hey guys, I mentioned that I was going to actually create a video tutorial on how to edit dog training video quick and dirty, and I'm actually following through for once. So, let's do this. First off, forgive me if I mess up with the recording of the screen and stuff. This is the first time I've ever done it. And this is the first time I've actually done a video tutorial, so bear with me. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit first about what you need in order to create the video. Obviously you need some sort of camera, whether that be your phone or an external camera. I personally use an external camera just because that way I don't have to worry about space on my phone, and I had an external camera. If you all you have is your phone, that's perfectly fine. However, I would really suggest getting a tripod of some sort. It doesn't have to be fancy. A GorillaPod kind of thing works well. I happen to have a full-size tripod because I wanted to evidently get into photography at one point, and that failed miserably. But I still have the tripod, so I use that all the time. And with that, that means you can really adjust your video to any angle or to any position you want. When you video, the really hard part is not going out of frame. And you'll get used to it eventually, because when you start videoing everything and you realize when you go out of frame, you get to be a bit better. But my trick is to have some sort of visual. If you look at my YouTube channel, you'll see that every single training video that's inside of my house basically is on this one blue rug. And it is what I basically do all of the training on, because it's a nice size and it helps me set up the framing of the camera so that I know when I'm in and when I'm out of frame. You know, that you set up your camera so that, you know, if you go to the wall, you're still going to be in frame, up to, you know, maybe a water bottle on the floor or something like that. Those visual triggers can really help you in the future so that you don't video something and then go, now the instructor can't see it, it's awful. Blech. Now let's go to the editing. So I use Windows Movie Maker, and I use it because it's free and it's easy. If you have a Mac, I'm sure there's something very similar. I think iMovie. So the first thing you want to do is you want to open up Windows Movie Maker, which I've done here. And you'll see that it's going to come up something empty. Now, you want to add in your video clips here. So if you have one continuous clip, as I'm going to show you in this tutorial, you can just upload it by clicking anywhere in here. If you have like multiple clips that you want to upload, what you can do is you can go up to this button up here and say add videos and photo, and then you can select from your computer here. I use an external camera, so I've got my memory disk, it's the removable disk down here, and I just find the video that I want. This one I happened to do about a month ago, and this one happens to be Merlin Learning Sent articles. So you just double click on whatever you want to use, and you'll see that it pops up in here. Now I did this before because I've like started and stopped this tutorial like 4 times. I keep saying stupid things. But so this one popped up really quick and easy because the computer had already formatted it to an appropriate like format for Windows Movie Maker to figure out. Generally what happens is my camera uses MOV files. I'm sure some of your phones probably use like MP4s or something like that. That's fine, but it just needs to transfer it into something that Movie Maker can understand. And so you'll see a loading bar down here. And when that loading bar is done, then it'll be good. The other key indicator is when you can see the audio blips down here. So that's what this is, these little blips. That's actually the audio profile of your video, which is really nice. And you can use that for editing as well. I'm not going to be able to use it today, but I've used it in the past so much for Leica's Nosework videos because I tend to put her behind the baby gate before when I'm setting up, and then I open the baby gate, and that leaves a really dramatic increase in audio in the video. And so I know when I open the baby gate, I can see the audio increase, and I know that's when I started training. So you can see here that this video is 10 minutes long, which I'm awful about. Ugh, don't do that, Brittany. But anyway, it's not 10 minutes of straight training because we're doing Sent articles. So a lot of this is reset. Some of you, if you're doing like, what comes to mind is tracking videos like with Echo, you know, you probably just need to trim the beginning and the end, and then you can leave the rest of it alone. For things like Nosework, Sent, if you're doing a bunch of different obedience activities in one training session, you're probably going to want to split it up into clips. And so I'm going to show you how to do that. Because there's probably a lot of junk in between while you're setting up, you know, you're setting up the agility equipment or whatever. But the problem is, like, that's 10 minutes of video. So if I were to watch it all the way through right now, that's 10 minutes of my time that I'm wasting. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to not watch it, and we're just going to make it quick and easy with using the scrubber. So you see as I click and hold on this black bar and move it around, you can see that the video changes over here. And you can see that, okay, right now Merlin's being a super ballerina. We're going over the coffee table. We're still not doing any training though. No training yet. So I don't care about this. No offense, the instructor wants to see this. Well, except for maybe engagement. I want to see when I actually start training. There I'm just, giving him kibble to go away. I set down the tin. Okay, maybe we're now actually starting training. One of the key things that I look for when I'm figuring out when the start of training is when the dog's head enters the frame. So you can see down in the right hand corner, oh, Merlin's head has entered the frame. I usually go back a tick, so it's not quite there. And then I come up to here and I hit edit and I hit split. So that means that I've put this into two different video clips. So this first clip is just setup. I don't care about it. I don't ever want to watch it again. So I'm going to click on it. So only that clip is highlighted in blue. I'm just going to hit delete. Boom, gone. Never have to look at it again. All right, now I'm going to go through the rest of this and be like, oh, yep, training. Oh, he's getting rewarded. Now then, you want to, before you start editing, think about what you want to leave in and what you want to take out. So in this instance, I've determined, because this is some fictional class that I'm taking, evidently, that I do want to leave the rewarding in. So I want to leave the rewarding in. But like if it was a skills class for Laika, I'd probably take the rewarding out because, the instructor assumes I know what I'm doing, and that's not the problem I'm having, I don't believe. So we're going to wait until he's done eating. I take the tin away. Okay, that's probably when I stop training. So now I just hit split. And we know that this chunk is good. This chunk is good training. It is actually training. Maybe I want to keep it, maybe I don't. I don't know yet because I haven't gotten through the entire video. So what I do in order to make sure that I have an idea of what each clip is without having to watch it every single time is I leave notes to myself. And how I do it in Windows Movie Maker is with captions. So first I want to get this black bar to the beginning of my clip, and so in order to do that you can just basically click near the beginning of the clip. If you want your black bar to go somewhere in between, you can do the scrubbing, or you can just click in various places. But at the beginning, near the beginning, it'll automatically snap to the beginning of the clip. So then you go to the home on your ribbon. Whoops, evidently I started it out. You go to home on your ribbon, and then you hit up here caption. So caption there. Let's just say this is 110. And he did fine. There was something particularly interesting about it. 110 fine. You click anywhere else in order to get out of there, and it'll update in here. Alright, so now that this clip is done and it's labeled, I'm going to go back to the behemoth, as I call it, of the video, and I'm going to start scrubbing again. Once again, I doubt that's the technical term, but whatever. I'm resetting. Oh, Merlin, still go away. Okay, I set down the tin. There's his head in the corner. Edit. Split. This chunk right here that I created is bogus. Delete it. Just hit delete. Alright, now we're back to here. Let's see how much we're actually training. We're training. We are... Oh, we're basically not training anymore. Okay, let's see. Here, I take the tin away. There we go. Split there. This is actually training. So I'm going to click on the clip, get my bar at the beginning of it, go back to home, caption, call it what I want. 110, fine. Again, and I always hit enter accidentally because I feel like I'm done, but that just creates a new line like it would in a text editor, so you just have to click anywhere else. Because this part is actually, in my opinion, incredibly boring and incredibly dull, I'm not going to do much more with that right now. I'm going to do this video off camera, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about how to save the video and how to upload it to YouTube. Okay, so I'm back, and I have finished getting all of these things into clips, and you'll see that most of them are labeled. I happen to do a bunch of them this time. I don't always. But you'll see that I've dramatically decreased the total amount of video that I actually have to watch. And in fact, a lot of it I probably still don't need to watch real time. Just doing the kind of scrubbing thing worked really well. So now I only have 6 minutes of video instead of 10. That being said, let's say I'm doing this for a Fenzi class. Most instructors have video limit lengths of like 2 or 3 minutes, depending. on the class and the specific instructor. So now I want to think, okay, what do I actually want to show the instructor? I've got all these notes so that I've got these things, and I think one of them in particular I said keep. Yeah, keep 3 tins confused. So let's actually watch this one because I haven't watched it yet. Doing his brown thing, being confused. So he's throwing it down even though he hasn't gotten it yet. Maybe I'll try picking that one.
Yeah.
There he goes, finally. Okay, so
good job, puppy.
that's kind of like his first ability to really kind of understand what's going on. And so I think I might actually put that keep as my first one, because there's a lot of stuff further on that is far more interesting and that I want to show my instructor, because this is kind of a long training session, but it's something that, you know, I feel pretty good about. So I'm going to delete everything that comes before this keep. So I'm just going to hit all of the clips and just delete. Once again, everything that comes before keep, I'm just deleting. Deleting. Everything just gets moved up in the timeline. Okay, so now keep. Nope, keep is not the first thing. Keep is still here. I've still got a few more things. Sorry, I didn't realize I wasn't all the way scrolled up. Okay, so that was like the first thing that I thought was really interesting when I was scrubbing through. And I watched it and I liked it. And so now I'm even down to 4 minutes. Yay! Okay, we're getting there. So now I'm looking to see these are all pretty similar. And this one I kind of wanted, he checked out all of the tins before deciding, which is nice. But I do want to give, this had to see what was paying. I want to watch that because I can't quite remember what it was. And plus I haven't listened to it with audio or anything yet, so. Let's try picking it up.
Yeah, good boy.
Okay, so that's a nice process one that I might want to keep, because he does have some problems later on. I saw that, like, I do remember this training session now where I actually ended up just stopping because he was getting really frustrated. So I want to keep that one as well. So let's see. Oh, the look to me for help. I think that one was pretty indicative. I was looking at these two, looking at all three. Tried it down on one of them, was like, where's my cookie? And I was like, nope, okay.
Boy.
So yeah, I want to keep that one. And you know what? They had to see the pain between that one and look to me for help. I'm going to delete all of those. You'll see, I haven't actually watched these. I've just scrubbed through them. And I know that there was nothing particularly interesting about them. So, except maybe this checked out all tins before deciding. Let's watch this one.
Good boy.
Okay, so he was actually thinking there. I like that. Okay. So there, look to me for help. So now I can see, okay, I still got all this stuff behind here, but let's see how far up my video is now. I want to see how much time I've got left. And I can see if I put the scrubber to the end of this clip, or slash the beginning of this clip, I've got 1:13. Okay, I want to have a total of a 2-minute video because that's, you know, what I get. So let's see what else. Okay, platform training is something I did when I stopped Nosework, so I don't care about any of this. So I'm just going to delete all the platform training stuff. He's really picking up everything. I want to keep that because that kind of shows my dog's state at the end of the time, and I want the instructor's, you know, idea on that. And I was convinced it was 1, but it didn't. I like that idea too. But he got it. I kind of actually want to also show successes. So this one we can delete. And look! I didn't even plan that. It's like almost exactly 2 minutes. Okay, so now I'm gonna let's just watch this all together. He's whining a lot.
Yeah, good boy. Good job, puppy.
Okay, so I noticed that I actually kind of skipped something accidentally there. I noticed that like that clip was way longer than I anticipated it, so I'm just going to go edit, split, once again, taking off seconds that instructors don't have to look at. I'm under 2 minutes entirely now. I was fine before, you know, it was actually 2 minutes long, but, you know, let's go for it. Okay, so how do I get it prepared for, like, actually getting it on YouTube and stuff and getting it to, you know, the instructor of my choice? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just delete all of the captions, because, or at least the captions I don't want. I don't care about that caption. You know what? I'm going to edit this caption, and by editing, you just double click on the caption itself over here. Or you should. Nah. Sorry. Evidently it moved. But you can double click on it, and then you can see here. So I want to type a note to my instructor saying, I think here he's still figuring out what's paying. And you can arrange, you know, this just like any other caption. And something I noticed, and I just learned today, is that if you make this textbook wider, you'll get more of the text in here. So that's cool. Despite the fact that it's the exact same amount of text, you'll actually see more of it if it's all in one line. So yeah, something I learned today. That one, I don't need, you know, she can find that one. Look to me for help. I might want to edit that one as well. So I'll double click on here, go, he seems to be getting frustrated. Did I handle this okay? Move it down. Alright, click anywhere else. I don't care about that caption. I'm not going to reread that. And then here I'm going to actually tell her that after this search, I stopped the session, which was really long. I think I fried his brain. And I tend to do this kind of thing just for notes to myself, but also for notes to the instructor. Okay, so now I've got all of the note captions out. I've got the captions I want in there. So now I need to save the video. There are a few different things you can do. If you go to home, you'll see up here, there's supposedly these share stuff up here. And you can supposedly like sign into YouTube and make everything. I have never ever been able to get that to work. I don't know if it's just me or if it's the video process stuff, or I don't know. So anyway, I prefer to have a hard copy saved on my computer anyway. So, oh, sorry, Merlin just woke up. And he's pushing me in the back. But, so I just will save it, and then I'll take that file and actually upload it to YouTube. So I'm just going to go File, and I'm going to say Save Movie. Now that Publish Movie, that's where that thing that I've never been able to get to work. So I go to Save Movie. There's a few different settings that you can use. I generally use 1080 for high definition display because my video comes in at 1080p, so I was like, I'll just save it at that. But once again, I have a pretty decent computer. I have an i7 core, and then I also have 8 gigs of RAM. So that's a pretty decent spec for a laptop. So if you don't have that many specs, you might want to save it as a lower quality video, or if your internet is kind of slow. Because the bigger the video, the longer it takes to get up the internet, and you know, if you're doing it on data or something, you certainly don't want a super high def video. You don't need that. You know, dog training isn't entertainment, unless you're me and crazy. So there are a few different options here. What I like is actually doing this hovering over what the options are, and you can see the estimated file size, and it'll go like 173 megabytes per minute of video. So that's pretty big. If you go up to YouTube, it'll be 37.14 megabytes per minute of video. And I found that with YouTube, the settings for YouTube, it's perfectly fine. People are going to be just fine to upload it. So actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, let's save it for YouTube. Now, there's a bunch of other different ones. There's like Android phone. That one's just as good as 1080p. There's Android phone medium, 72.9, which is, you know, larger than that 37 before. And so high definition display for computer, you know, that's 40.71. So there's all these options that you've got. And the way to see if you're like, oh my god, this video is taking forever to upload, I need to do a lower resolution next time, that's how you can figure out what one is actually a lower resolution, looking at your estimated file size. So I tend to do, like I said, I tend to do 1080 for high definition display, but once again, we pay for internet and we pay for to use a computer, which not everyone has the ability or wants to do. So for this instance, I'm going to save this to YouTube. So just hit the YouTube setting and it'll show up, okay, where do I want to save this? Actually, my video file for all of the dog stuff is still called Leica instead of dogs because it started it before I got Merlin. Let's call this tutorial video, and I actually label all of my videos with the date, so 2017 0107 _. That's just my file system, and I'm going to save it. Now you can save it, save as type. You've got a few different options. Here you've got an MP4 and an WMV. Highly suggest the MP4. YouTube generally does better with MP4s than WMVs. So save. Okay, now it's saving. Once again, it'll take a bit of time. Oh, one more thing I want to mention is you can see that this video, it didn't show me at all, or very little, and that's perfectly fine. But in some cases, you really want to make sure that you show yourself in your video, so that's another thing you want to consider in your framing. Like if you're doing healing, I'm pretty sure that you want to show as much of your body as possible. So you're going to want to, back up that video, maybe even do vertical video. Ooh, I know, on your phone. But so that's an option. Okay, now it says, it dinged and says, yay, you got it. And I say, okay, cool. I don't care about it. I know where it is. I saved it. I'm just going to say close. Now we're going to go to the internet, and let's hope I don't have anything too embarrassing open. Nope, a tutorial on how to use the video editing software. Okay, so let's just go to YouTube. If you haven't already, obviously you're going to need to sign into YouTube. Look, I watch a lot of ASMR stuff. And you're going to want to upload your video up here. So just upload up there. It'll take you to this. If you don't have an account yet, which, whoa, weirdo, you're going to need to create one, obviously. Select files to upload, you can just click. The drop-down box here is, you'll want to consider some instructors want you to use unlisted. And that's perfectly sense, right? It protects their intellectual property. Well, I guess it's not really their intellectual property, but it protects their training program. So there are three options. There's public, where everyone can see it. It can be searched for. If they see your profile, they can see that video. There's unlisted, where it's still available to people, but only if they have the link directly to the video. So this is what a lot of people use, especially if you're uncomfortable with your face being out in the world, which is totally understandable. I've just given up, but it's something you can totally do with unlisted. And then there's private, and private is just solely for you. So you are the only person who can see it. You cannot share a link to it. So a lot of people accidentally do private when they really want unlisted, because if you're sharing it with someone, you needs to be at least unlisted. I'm going to do unlisted right now because, I don't really care about this video tutorial that I just uploaded, and just click that file to upload. And then you're going to navigate to it, and because I've got the date on it, it's right here, tutorial video, MP4. And now it'll start uploading. Oh, while you're here, you can change the title. Generally, the title will be whatever you've named the file name. I hardly ever change these because I just don't care. The description, you can put the description, you can put tags. If you've clicked the wrong one at the beginning, public, unlisted, or private, you can change it here. You can also add it to a playlist if you want. And you'll notice that up here it's telling me to click done to confirm, because I said to upload it, but you can still edit all this stuff. So if you wanted to edit it, then you could say, okay, now I'm done. I'll change to saved. It's waiting. While this stuff is uploading, most of the time what I do is I go and right click on that link and say copy link address. And now I've got it in my clipboard. And I go to like the Fenzi site or wherever, and I start typing up my post. So, not wasting so much time. I'm either making dinner or typing up the post or that kind of thing while I'm doing this stuff. There it goes. Okay, so now when it hits to that, it goes, yay, I'm good, I'm done. And if you want to share your video, once again, click the link, Control-C, or right-click, copy, and then you just paste the video link wherever. If you wanted to actually see it, you can just click on the light, and here we go. Okay, so yeah, that's the video. And hopefully that's working out okay for you. If you have any questions, don't comment on YouTube. I won't look at it. Comment on Reddit or Facebook. Yeah, hopefully this helps you out.